Well, Dave stole a lot of my thunder. He said a lot of the things I was planning on saying, but I'm used to not being able to follow him. I want to thank all of you for your warm welcome just now. I honestly wish my debate team back home would welcome me as warmly when I go to talk to them, and hopefully one day they will. I also have to say, I just want to thank Jesse and all of you for having me here. This is actually my first trip to Asia, and so it's been exciting. You have no doubt the best food in the world, and so I absolutely plan on coming back over and over. And also after that 14-hour flight, I have a very, very deep respect for those of you who travel to the United States to compete on a regular basis. I couldn't do it. You do it effectively, and so I just can't articulate how impressed I am after doing that you continue to do that. Jesse kind of introduced me. My name is Glen Frappier. I'm a longtime faculty member in the Communication Studies Department at Gonzaga University, which is located in Washington State. I know some of you have visited there before, either attending the Gonzaga Debate Institute, which we host each summer, which is also one of the longest running debate institutes in the United States, as well as attending our tournament, which we host in January, which is the Conway Classic, which is another TAC bid tournament. So I hope to see some of new faces there this coming January as well as next summer. And it's great to see those of you again who I've met in the past. I already thanked you for the warm welcome, but I want to also repeat some of Dave's thank yous. You have created something incredibly impressive here. You've created a vibrant debate circuit that I think rivals a lot of what's going on in the United States these days. And I suspect it's not going to be too long before you are sending many teams over there, and many of those teams are coming over here to compete because if you build it, they will come. And I think we're already seeing that happening now. Your dedication to this and getting better has just absolutely wowed me. I had an opportunity to judge. I've judged a lot of debates so far. I judged 4 yesterday, 2 today, and I got a chance to judge 3 practice debates on Friday night when I arrived earlier in the week. But I got to judge on Friday. And while all those 3 debates that I judged impressed the heck out of me, I've got to say the last debate that I judged that evening, the practice debate, was probably the one that impressed me the most. And that's because the students in there were, I think, maybe 11 years old or something like that. And for me, that's amazing. I have a 10-year-old son, and I called my wife after I watched this debate, and I said, "You're not going to believe it. I just watched 4 kids who are our son's age have an extensive debate on whether or not we should restrict, the sale of weapons to Taiwan." And she just there was silence on the other end, and she said, "Well, your son's been downstairs playing NBA on video all night." And so I said, "Well, you know what? He will be at the Debate Institute next summer. So if you come and visit, my son will absolutely be in there because, my gosh, just seeing the things that some of you are doing at the age you're doing at absolutely blows me away. I'm impressed with your commitment, your intellect, and your dedication to this because, as Professor Arnett alluded to, this isn't an easy thing we do. It takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of dedication, and you're doing it very well, and you're doing it with style, and I can't say enough about what I've been seeing. With that, my son's got a lot of talking to when I get home. I will say this, I owe all I am and everything I'm going to be and everything I have to academic debate. I realized about 12 years old that my dream of being a Major League Baseball player was never going to happen. Despite my parents' encouragement, I saw the writing on the wall. And so my parents said, "Well, if you're not going to do debate when you get into middle school and high school, if you're not going to play baseball, why don't you think about doing debate?" And I did something that very few kids that age do. I listened to my parents, and I decided that I'm going to give this a try. And there's a famous quote from a civil rights leader in the United States, Malcolm X, who found debate actually at an early age when he was in prison. And in his autobiography, he writes that once I got my feet wet, I was gone on debate. And the same thing was true for me. When I got into debate, it changed my life. It empowered me in ways that I never thought were possible. All of a sudden, I was talking about issues that kids my age just simply weren't talking about. I found my voice. I found agency, and I found the authority that I never really knew that I had before. And, I got to say, after that, my life changed forever. When I won a debate, it really felt like I was hitting a game-winning home run, walk-off home run. in the bottom of the ninth and, you know, in the World Series every single time. And all I knew was I kept wanting to do that over and over. And I just tried to get better and better because I wanted to capture that feeling and never lose it. And, you know, as a coach, there's nothing better than watching it's fantastic to watch your teams win debates. But more than that, it's fantastic to watch them grow. It's fantastic to watch them go through the process that I went through at an early age of discovering themselves and realizing kind of just the emancipatory potential that debate has for all of us. And so I can see some of you are starting to realize that as well. But, you know, and debate was also great because I got to go to all sorts of exotic locations like Dallas, Texas, and Shreveport, Louisiana. And for those of you who haven't been there, those are not exotic at all. They're terrible places. But I got to do some traveling, and I always thought that was cool. But, you know, I got to say, of all the things that debate taught me, how to research, critical thinking, analytical skills, all of those things, the one thing that debate taught me that has stuck with me all these years is how to work as a team, how to work cooperatively and collaboratively on projects, and just to make the most out of what I can offer the group. The one thing throughout all of your lives, and I think all adults in here know this, but for all the students out there, the one thing in your life you're always going to have to do is work with other people. Sometimes you're going to like the people you work with. Sometimes you're not going to like the people you work with, but you still have to work with them. You have to cooperate, like I said, you have to collaborate. And I think that's one of the greatest things we get out of debate. And sometimes this isn't easy. Working with your partner, sometimes that is not easy. Sometimes you're thinking, you know, I work a lot harder than my partner. Sometimes you're thinking, I work a lot harder than these other people on other teams on my squad, you know, but somehow they're doing better. What I'll say is, you can't win without your partner. You can't win without the backing of a strong squad behind you. One of the mottos I like to kind of instill in my debaters at Gonzaga is we lose as a team and we win as a team. So when one of us loses, we all lose. And when one of us wins, we all win. We share this. We want everyone to do well. If I'm winning but my other team isn't winning, or rather, you know, if I'm debating and I'm winning but my other team winning, it doesn't mean quite as much. And so we're all in that together, and I think that's something that that debate gives us. It's because it's obviously not just about winning, though, right? Trophies are fantastic. Winning debates is great, but those are not the things that you're going to remember when your time in debate is done. What you're going to remember are the relationships you form and the friendships that you make. It's hard to believe that Professor Arnett and I have been now friends on and off for about 25 years or so. You know, and he's one of my best friends in this activity, and I would have never met him absent being in debate. This summer, I actually got to go to a wedding. All my former students seem to get married this summer, and so I went to a lot of weddings this summer. One of the weddings I went to was between two students who met at my summer debate institute when they were 15 years old. So they grew up, they got married, and they're off to have a happy life. And so, you know, debate brings us together like that. You never know what professional colleagues you're going to make. You're never going to know what that relationship's going to turn into. So I'll leave you with this. One day, you might be married to the person sitting next to you. So think about that for just a moment. So once again, I just want to really thank all of you. I want to thank all of you, not only for everything you're doing in the debate, but for making my first trip to Asia and my first experience with the AZL over here to be something that I'm going to treasure and remember for a long time. And hopefully it won't be too long before I'm back again enjoying all the fantastic food that this city has to offer. Thank you very much.